Be here for this fall season. And thank you again for the introduction, Anne. All right, I'm going to get started. So I'm going to come off of camera so I can go ahead and present and eliminate any distractions. So just one moment, please. And are you able to see my screen or no?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you so much. So again, welcome everyone. We're here today to help you learn how to apply for Montgomery County jobs. So let's get started. In this presentation today, we will speak about creating your account, setting up job alerts. If you would like to, search for jobs, also apply for jobs, check your status, and additional resources. So MCG, and you will hear me using the acronym MCG, it's just referring to Montgomery County government, but just to let you know in advance, MCG uses governmentjobs.com for its job application system. There are two ways to view available MCG jobs, links on Work for MCG or the direct link for our government jobs board. So those two links are showing here. Through Work for MCG, you can view job openings by clicking one of the two links shown here. You can also check out the latest career news and events, plus our amazing totals rewards package. Note that higher level positions such as director jobs are generally recruited for outside, sometimes a mix between our standard government jobs, but there are also consultants that are used as well. So there's specifically an executive positions link that you can click on for that. As mentioned earlier, you can also reach our jobs board directly through the link shown here. And here's a sample of what it looks like. Before you apply, you must first set up governmentjobs.com account. And what you want to do when you're setting it up, the page is going to obviously look like this, and you're going to click on Create One, the link pop-up window, and it will take you through the process in terms of signing in. So you're going to utilize the entire all of the steps you will go through, and it's very user-friendly in terms of walking you through the process of setting up the account. So you're going to enter your email address, username, password, then click the create button. You're going to look for a confirmation email, and then also you're going to confirm to activate your account. So you're going to check the privacy box and then click the confirm button to set up your account. Government jobs will not allow you to create an account without accepting the privacy policy. Also, please note that MCG does not accept email or paper applications. So you have now signed on. You're going to click your account link at the top right of the screen and click profile from the drop-down menu. And then you're going to follow the step-by-step instructions to set up your profile and upload your resume. If you prefer, you can actually set up the rest of your profile later. You can come in and out once your profile is actually set, and then you can go forward in terms of setting it up at your leisure. You just want to make sure you take your time, include all of the information that you need to within your profile. So this is an optional job feature in terms of setting up job alerts. You can set up an alert to be basically notified when there are jobs that you are potentially interested in, any agencies within Montgomery County government that you're interested in terms of applying to. You can always set up job alerts that will show you those agencies. When you're setting up the alerts, this is what it's going to look like. There's no limitation in terms of what you can click on for the industries that you are interested in. So there's also a job interest card pop-up window, and your name and email address needs to be entered there. Then you're going to look for your job interest card email. They'll receive job alerts. Basically, for the next 12 months, you'll receive job alerts for any notifications that you sign up for. And then you can also adjust the alerts as well. You can log in and add and or delete categories at any time. Now we're going to get into talking about searching for MC jobs specifically. So first, you're going to visit the jobs board and use the search, sort, and filter features to find jobs. One thing I do want to mention is you can definitely sort and filter. You can also obviously just search for certain categories. If you happen to search for a certain category and you're not seeing it, just take your filters off and then just do a full search. Sometimes it just depends. The job categories may be very, very specific, and what you're putting in may not show exactly what you're looking for. So there are various ways that you can do the job search. So you're going to click on the job in which you're interested in. Read the advertisement carefully, very carefully. So you want to pay attention to the application closing dates. Applications are not accepted after the date that it's closed. You may want to print the ad for future reference after the job closes. If you are logged in and ready to apply, you can click apply to begin the application process. So let's take a closer look at the advertisement section by section. So first you want to review the general information for this position. At the very top, what I do want to mention, a lot of people do ask about is the salary. So this is the salary range of the actual job grade in itself, in terms of what's budgeted for the grade of this position. In terms of the salary that will be allowed for this particular, let's say, for instance, Administrative Specialist 1, the actual salary range that will be used in terms of hiring into this position will be found in the body of the ad. And I'll get into that a little later, but just to kind of point that out. The rest of the information gives location, and also gives details in terms of the closing dates, opening dates, so on and so forth. At times, there are various locations for each agency. So many times the main agency is listed only here in terms of the location. So now we'll go over the components of the job. So you have actually, let me just go back for a second. You want to obviously look at about the position, see if this is what you're interested in. Seeing the description of what the job will do, the task that the job will be responsible for. This gives you a lot of clear insight into whether or not this is a job that you are really willing to apply to. The minimum qualifications are extremely important to pay attention to, because this will let you know what is going to be determined in terms of you qualifying for the actual job that you're going to apply to. So you want to pay very close attention to every part of this section, because it will just let you know, okay, do I need to spend time in terms of applying to this job? Am I actually qualified for the position? It will give you the information that you need to know, to let you know how you can proceed. Should I apply? Should I not? There are times where there are substitutions and or equivalencies used, and that part of it will tell you whether or not your years of experience can substitute maybe the lack of education, and or vice versa. Your education can substitute for your lack of experience. So if there is an equivalency or substitution allowed, it will be listed in the ad. There's also preferred criteria. So preferred criteria can be used in two ways. There's preferred criteria screening questions, which will take place during the application process. And then there's also preferred criteria interview that will be listed as well. So the criteria questions will be used to determine who will be well qualified versus qualified and or not qualified at all. Interview preference criteria is just giving you an idea of the preferences that will be used throughout the interview process in terms of what the agency is actually looking for in the candidate criteria wise. This is general important information that you will see in every ad. And it's a very general message. It's across the board in terms of rights and hiring preferences, so on and so forth, and as well as information about our ethics commission. So applying for and checking the status is next. On the job board page, you're going to sign into your account, and you are going to find the job that you are looking for in terms of trying to figure out what will be next in the process. You're going to go through your profile. So you're taking your general information, excuse me. If you haven't already completed your profile as of yet, this is where you want to take advantage of this. Complete your profile, make sure you have all information necessary that is required. And again, you're going to go through each section, take your time, and ensure that you've answered the questions that you need to answer and provided any attachments that are necessary for your actual profile. So once you have reached the Certify tab and click the Accept and Submit button, you will see the application submitted message above. You can either click the red applications link to check the status of your application by clicking the X at the top right corner. All right, so you can also check the status of your job at any time by signing in and clicking the applications link and your account's drop-down window. Your status will change throughout the recruitment process. If you happen to not see a change in your status, further into this presentation will be our contact information where you can always reach out, and one of our recruiters will reach out to you and let you know your actual status if you're having trouble seeing that part. All right, so Montgomery County government, we offer a lot of resources in terms of job seeking and career path change, so on and so forth. So here are just a few resources for Work for MCG on our website. You have resume preparation tips, job application guide. If you need help, any other type of resources, there are a whole host of resources listed on our page. If you get stuck during your application process, you can also review the comprehensive guide on government jobs. And there's also frequently asked questions. Montgomery County Public Libraries in particular, they have access to many career-related classes and materials as well. And here are some more resources through Montgomery County Public Libraries. Okay, so I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to the presentation today. I hope I was able to give some clarity. I know that we're getting ready to get to the Q&A portion, but thank you so much for your time. And I'm going to come back on camera in a moment.
That's great. And I'll get the questions here together for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So again, if you have any questions for Amina, please put them in chat now and address them to everyone. And I will get those here for Amina right now. Okay. So the first one, let me go to my Word file because I was putting them in Word, is, will the profile account accept foreign telephone numbers?
That is a good question. And I say that because I haven't seen a foreign number as of yet in our application system. I do not know, but if you send me a direct message through chat and please give me your contact information, I will find out for you.
Okay, that's great. And then somebody asked if you would be available after the expo today.
Yes, I will. Yes, you can reach out to me. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't know, I haven't gone into the chat yet, but if you're more than welcome to provide my email address.
Okay. All right, then I will do that shortly here.
Okay,
And
thanks.
the next question is, no, thank you for doing that. That's great. Is the government freeze affecting one of the posted positions? She didn't say which position.
I'm sorry, is the
Is
government
it
freeze?
affecting any of the posted positions?
Oh, no, no. Thankfully, not as of yet. We are considered local county government within the state of Maryland, so we have not been affected as of yet.
Okay. And does MCG have a resume page requirement? Maybe
In terms of the number of pages, or so
that's all.
we
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So I'll tell you this. We do not have a number of page requirement, if that is what the question is being asked. We do have requirements where in the applications that you have to submit your resume. We do go off of the employment history within the application, and then also we verify your information on your resume as well to ensure that the information aligns, and that if there's anything that may not be in the employment history on the application that is actually can be found on your resume. So that's definitely a fail safe in terms of being able to supply pertinent information about your work history.
That's good. Can you explain the differences between the two websites you are telling us about? The MCG and then the board, I think is what they're referring to.
Sure. So NeoGov is our HR application website, and MCG's human resource page has a whole host of resources. It's not just specific to our careers and our career page, but we also have our benefit page. We have other resources, our county regulations, everything that you need to know in terms of Montgomery County government human resources is actually on the MCG page. Work for MCG has all of your career resources specifically that you need to know, resume tips of what I spoke of earlier, and our NeoGov/government jobs website is where you would actually apply to the jobs.
And it is a great site. There's so much information on your website that you literally
Thank you.
get yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and sit down and go through it before you
Yes,
start
for sure.
applying, because there's so much good stuff on that website. Um,
Yes, thank you.
and what, sure, what are the best practices for interviews and successful hire for the county?
I would say best practices, definitely familiarize yourself with the job that you're applying to. I know that you get into applying for many jobs, and sometimes if you forget what job you apply to and you go in and then you really kind of don't have an idea, it will show at some point. So you want to do your research in terms of the agency that you're applying to. You want to make sure that your skill set aligns with the job. If it does not, let's say the job doesn't really require any experience, but they are hiring in at an entry level, you still want to be able to highlight your skill set that you have, and be able to shine, market yourself. Don't be afraid of marketing yourself, and providing all the information that you need to provide. Ask questions in the interview, not just kind of general questions, but maybe ask questions where it really shows that you are interested in the job and not just interviewing.
Good. Is there a preferred resume format? Example, closer to the federal resume requirements or the private sector standards?
Um, it's almost a mix, because we do want to have some detail. Private sector, they want to see 1 or 2 pages and that's it. What we want is the job that you're applying to, if it requires 5 years of executive level experience, let's say in agriculture, you want to ensure that your resume shows the 5 years of experience in agriculture. Some people tend to think that their resume shows the information, but it doesn't. So they're lacking some detail. So just depending on your years of experience, and many people have 30 plus years experience, 20 to 30 plus years experience. You want to be able to show that. If that's the amount of years of experience you have, then you need to show it if it pertains to the job that you're applying to.
Well, that's refreshing. Someone just asked to that point, if the qualifications require 2 to 3 years of experience, but we have 15 years, is it still worth trying to apply, or does 2 to 3 means that you are looking for a newer professional?
2 to 3 years is more on an entry level, but I do see people applying that have 10, 15 plus years to jobs. So I would just, I never like to discourage someone in applying. So if it is a job that you are interested in and you want to apply, even though it says 2 to 3 years, I would still say apply. You never know how it can turn out. Your skill set may be exactly what the manager is looking for. The requirement in terms of the amount of years of experience is based off of the classification of each job and county. So the years of experience is the requirement, but sometimes people with 5, 10, plus years can still apply to those entry level positions.
Okay. And somebody said they applied for 2 jobs, one in April and one in July, and they never received a response.
Okay. If you, and I will also, I'll plug my email in as well. I'm sorry. And I had asked you to do it. I know you're fielding the questions, but I'll
Sorry.
plug my email in there as well into the chat. So no worries. If you could send me a direct message through chat as well, give me your information and I'll find out for you what's going on. We'll be able to connect after the expo.
And Amina, just give me 2 seconds here and let me do this right now.
I have a question while Ann is putting your information in. We have heard that there is preference for displaced federal workers. Then we heard that was retracted. So can you clarify or that issue?
So we are waiting on additional clarification. It's being handled by county council and legislation, so on and so forth. And the voting has not taken place yet. So we're waiting for clarification on that, actually,
Okay.
to
So
get started.
So right now, if you're a displaced federal worker, you should, and you find a job, you should apply, but there's not a formal preference at this point.
At this point, no, and it's more on the line of they're calling it now an initiative, a federal government initiative, hiring initiative. So it's as soon as we find out a little bit more guidance, we are working on getting frequently asked questions approved and getting those posted. So as soon as we get confirmation for that, we'll be able to give more information to the community.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. Okay,
Sure.
take it away, Ann. Sorry.
Thank you. No, that works. Okay, that was somebody who was, thank you for sharing. Okay, someone's just saying, go check out your library. You can use their computers there, which is true. How long does it take for someone to be on the eligible list?
So as of recently, we've been getting over 300 plus people applying to almost the majority of our jobs that we have posted. So with all of that said, we are trying to work steadfast in terms of turning eligible list over to the department. It takes us approximately 2 weeks as recruiters to relay the information in terms of qualified candidates to the department. After that, we are trying our best to ask the department to take within 30 days to review the list and determine who they actually want to interview. So once the job closes, we as recruiters have 2 weeks to get it to the department.
Are you closing jobs sooner now that because you are receiving such an abundance of resumes?
So it depends on the job, actually. Depending on the job, the classification of the job, and the number of applicants that are applying, it's just the amount of time that the job will be posted that could vary. at this point.
Okay.
It used to be where we had jobs open for like 4 weeks, 3 and 4 weeks at a time. But now, because of the number of applicants, we have shortened that and reduced that time frame.
Gotcha. And then what if you're interested in multiple types of jobs requiring tailored different profiles?
So if you are interested in different, positions, different agencies within county, I would just say tailor your resume to the job that you apply to. You just want to ensure that the job that you're applying to, the details are on that resume, and you're not carrying over a resume from a previous application where the title, is the same. Sometimes people will title their resume for the job they're applying to. You want to make sure that, like, let's say you're not putting um, office services coordinator onto a program manager job. You
Mm.
just want to make sure the details are there that are pertinent to the job that you apply to, but you can have various resumes for sure.
Okay, that's great. And someone did just ask about the presentation, which I did put in chat, and I'll
Okay,
put
thank
it in again after we finish up here. We have just a couple more minutes before our next workshop presentation.
Sure.
However, Amina said that she will jump into chat, and I will tell her where we left off. And
Okay.
then from 1 o'clock to 1:30, she will be back to talk to us about the jobs that are at Montgomery County and also answer questions then as well. And
Yes.
so let me scroll back up um, to, sorry. When you put something in, it moves you completely away from the
Yeah.
screen. Sorry. Okay. Is it okay? We already asked about the question about the feds, and we put the email address in chat. Are all the opportunities for the state of for Montgomery County only, or also the state of Maryland?
The opportunities that are on our job are specific to Montgomery County government, local Montgomery County government, not Maryland state.
Okay. Someone said they're on the eligible list for a few positions. How long does it? We already asked that question. Sorry. What does it mean that there is a hiring salary range for the body of the posting? It's an interesting question.
So the salary range, when you click on an ad and you see at the very top of the job ad, there is a salary range, and that's specific for, let's say, a grade 20. For the job that you're applying to, it will be a grade 20. And so that salary range is technically the salary range of that position, of that grade itself. But the position, because various departments have various budgets that they are allowed to hire in at. They have budget restrictions. And then also in terms of wage equity, with current incumbents that are in the position, we want to ensure that there's no inequity. So there is a salary range that's used specifically for that job, specifically for that agency. And that range is what's listed at the very top in the body of the ad when it says about the position. That's where we list that information.
Okay. Do you have to live in Montgomery County to apply for jobs?
No, you do not. No, you do
Okay.
not. Mhm.
Somebody asked if Udemy is free through Montgomery County. You'll have to look that up. I'm not sure. I applied for a job at MC. The application asked for the complete social security number. Why does the county not ask for the last 4 digits, seeing this could be problematic with identity issues?
We don't get into social security number and disclosing that personal information until we deal with the applicant specifically, in terms of going through the contingency phase of hiring applicants. So what's asked in terms of in the application is just a matter of, for protection of people's information. We don't want to have people disclosing like their full social security number and or part of their social if we don't need that upfront. So that's just why we don't need that. And I think, and you asked a question about Udemy, I
Yeah,
believe.
I saw your
So
face. Yeah.
yeah. So I do know specifically that if you have a library card from Montgomery County government, you can enroll through Udemy, through the libraries, and they definitely have a lot of great resources for classes, free classes that are non-credit classes.
That's great. I have to say thank you for being here this morning. We have
Sure.
left off at 10:33 a.m.
And 30, okay.
This is the first one with the letters AA for 10:33 a.m. And
Okay.
it's a, actually that she just gave you her email address. So let's go with 10:33 MC are the initials,
Okay.
and it has to do with applicants. And thank you. And we look forward to seeing you this afternoon after you've had some lunch. But
Thank you so
everyone,
much.
everyone, Amina is going to be joining chat right now. I'm going to put her email address again in the chat as well. And I'm going to again attach her workshop presentation to the chat as well. So you'll have that. Thank you, Amina. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much for having me.